For several years now, the Veterans Court of Garland County District Court has been providing needed services to a very valued segment of our community. And with me today is Division I District Court Judge Meredith Switzer, as well as Stephen Ezelle, who is this Disabled Veterans Outreach Program Specialist for Garland County, as well as 3 other counties. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Let's start out with the basics, Judge, of the Veterans Court. Can you help us understand what Veterans Court does and why it is so needed here in Garland County?
Absolutely. The District Court Veterans Court is designed to assist veterans who are justice involved with the resources that they need. Oftentimes, veterans come to my court for misdemeanor offenses. And the fact is, the reason they wind up in court is not necessarily the result of typical criminal behavior, but maybe as a result of post-traumatic stress that a veteran has experienced through their service that has not been treated. And so when a veteran comes to me, comes to the court, Mr. Ezelle, as well as a team of other individuals, help me identify those veterans that we have and help identify what resources we may be able to provide them to address the underlying cause for their behavior, such as post-traumatic stress or anger management. And so what Mr. Ezelle is able to do for me is assist those individuals with those resources, such as job placement, proper treatment, whether it be for post-traumatic stress or whether it be for anger management or domestic violence or any of those things that we see. Our goal is to ensure that veterans don't come back to see us. And in order to ensure that that goal is met, we need to provide resources that are available, that have been set up by the VA to those individuals. And so we're very lucky to have those resources. It's just a matter of identifying those who need them and making sure that they receive those resources. For example, we have many veterans who come to court who have never received their DD-214, which is their discharging document. And without that, they are not entitled to the resources that the VA provides. So we assist them with obtaining that document and then put them in touch with Steve or Phyllis Wilkins so that they can do an assessment to identify what resources, what programs, what treatment they require and are eligible for.
Judge, on any given court day, about how many veterans might you see, and what are some of the types of choices that you have to make?
I think on our Veterans Court meets once a month, the 3rd Friday of the month usually, and we see approximately 10 veterans, I think,
yes.
Per month, and that number varies depending on where a veteran is in their treatment. So for example, when I see a veteran for plea and arraignment and we identify them as a veteran, I may place them in the veteran court and see them on a monthly basis for review, but in between that time, they will do an assessment with Mr. Ezelle or our representative from the VA, and they will recommend certain programs or treatment that the veteran needs to be placed in. And so I will monitor through VA court their progress in that treatment and just keep an eye on them and monitor them and make sure that they're getting whatever resources that they need. And so I take that into consideration as an alternative to traditional sentencing options such as jail, probation, and that sort of thing, because the fact is that's what they really need. They don't need to be in jail. They need proper treatment to address the underlying issues. So.
That's right.
Mr. Ezelle, do you want to go into any more detail about your role in the Veterans Court?
Well, yeah, I'd like to say that Judge Switzer, Judge Switzer's dad invited me to his court when he found out that I was servicing veterans. So I became like an advisor, and then all of a sudden I became more involved in helping out our vets. And so what Judge Switzer just told you was absolutely correct, though, is that we do provide, or I do provide services, including retrieving the DD-214, including getting him to voc rehab, vocational rehab, or either help out with the other providers in the community with male and female veterans that are in treatment.
You have a lot of resources at your disposal, don't you, to help veterans?
Yes, I do. There's one I'm real proudful for, and that would be the Hope Project, and they are a real big resource to me. Many of my veterans who do come to me, they will not have any food at all because circumstances beyond their control. And when that happens, then typically I try to vet them out to make sure their needs are met. And when I find that they're in hard times, and now you gotta keep in mind, your typical veteran is going to be very, very prideful, and they're not going to be so open. But because of our common ground between each other, our military backgrounds, I'm able to tap into and reach into what it is that really is bothering them.
I know you have a distinguished Navy background.
Yes, I do. So I've worked at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and under the Deputy Chief of Naval Operations. So,
Well, we're fortunate to have you.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
fortunate to have Mr. Ezelle on our veteran court team. And like you said, my predecessor, Judge David Switzer, my father, invited Mr. Ezelle to be on the team for very good reason, obviously. He does connect with the veterans in a way that I would not be able to, that my probation officers might not be able to. Well, actually, we do have a probation officer who is a veteran, and we are so lucky to have him for that very reason.
Right.
There's a connection among service members and veterans that you cannot equal. And so I need Mr. Ezelle as an integral part of my team to reach these veterans, form that bond, and let them know that we are here to assist. Okay? Now, we do have the goal of punishing criminal behavior. But I think experience has taught us, research has taught us, that traditional punishment methods are not adequate for this segment of the community. And so that is why he forms such an integral part of our team.
Of course, there's added value in the fact that this summer, Mr. Ezelle received several very distinguished awards
Absolutely.
for the service that he provides here and to veterans throughout the area that he serves.
Absolutely. And that is in large part due to the service that he's provided me and my team. Mr. Ezelle was awarded the Outstanding Disabled Veterans Outreach Program Specialist Award from the National Disabled American Veterans, and then additionally received the Arkansas Veterans Representative of the Year Award from the Arkansas Disabled American Veterans. And we could not be more proud of Mr. Ezelle. It is such a testament to the fine work that he does for us and for the community, and in many counties actually. But to be recognized on a national level is really very special.
Yeah.
And such an honor. And I'm so glad that I could be part of the process of getting Mr. Ezelle to that award. It was with no hesitation that I recommended him and wrote on his behalf, and I'm just so pleased that they recognize such a fine individual.
So, Mr. Ezelle, what did it mean to you to receive those awards?
Oh, it was emotional, but when I received a call that I was put up for nomination, and it's like receiving an Emmy award, or just the nomination, which just in itself was an honor. So here I am competing against nationwide other people in my capacity, and mine just happened to be one of them. And so I'm the first Arkansan to ever receive this award. So, which makes it extra special for me that I'm also supporting Arkansas. I'm recognized that Arkansas is now being represented on a national level, and that's that ties in pretty much what happened just yesterday when I got an email from a person from North Carolina, and he saw my picture in the national magazine. And he reached out to me because he's moving to the village. So that kind of exposure told me that really made an impact on people wanting to come to Arkansas. But people know that they have if they're veterans, they know that they can they can reach out to me.
And you were speaking to a huge audience, weren't you, because of the
Oh,
streaming?
gosh. Yes, they were. There was just they put me in the green room, powdered me up, and then I ended up going by a bank of computers, and I mean there must have been 20 of them, and of all those, there were people who were sitting behind them, and I go up to the platform, and the gentleman says, "Now just be relaxed. You go to the podium over there, do your speech, and there's an audience of over 2,000 people in front of me." And so now he tells me, and we have 4.1 million people live streaming. And I said, "Why are you telling me this?" So that was the largest crowd I have ever spoken to, and probably never do it again, because it's, I want to do it again, but I just, I was excited at that point.
Certainly the experience of a lifetime.
Yes, it will be. Yeah.
As this interview draws to a close, Judge Switzer, is there any advice that you would like to offer to Garland County veterans and their families who might be considering the services of Veterans Court?
Yes. As a community, I think we try our best to reach out to veterans and provide them with the resources that they need to be successful after their service. But oftentimes we fall a little short. And so having a Veterans Court is another entry point for us, another opportunity for us to reach veterans and provide them with those services that they need. So my recommendation would be, if you find yourself as a veteran or a family member of a veteran to be involved in the justice system, let someone know that you're a veteran so that we can take that into consideration and identify for you what it is that's causing you to be justice involved. And if we're able to do that, hopefully we can put you in touch with the right people, whether it be a treatment provider, a counselor, someone to assist with housing, employment.
Right.
And if we can do that, hopefully we can rehabilitate and get that veteran on the right track. So whether you're here in court because you've got pending charges, or if you are just a veteran living in Garland County and you are on hard times, even if you don't have charges, even if you have no involvement with the court system, you come down to the district court and you tell the clerks, you tell the probation officers, I'm a veteran, and we're going to get you help. Period. We are here to assist veterans with what they need. And I just want the veterans to know and the family members to know that this is a welcoming place. I don't mean to be derelict in my duty as a judge, like I said, in imposing sentences, but I do recognize that we can do a better job of helping those who have fought for our country and for our freedom in taking care of them when they return home. And part of that is placing them in Veterans Court, providing them with those services, putting them in touch with people like Mr. Ezelle who can support them with those various resources and keep track of them and monitor them so that they maintain their success. So we hope to do more of that in the future. We hope that the Veterans Court is a success. I hope to include as many people as possible. But like I said, if you are not involved in Veterans Court, if you have no relation to the district court system and you simply need help, need assistance, you come down to the district court and you ask for Judge Switzer and you say, I'm a veteran and I'm going to make sure that we get you some help.
And Judge Switzer, you're not one to attract recognition for yourself, but it is an added value to Veterans Court that you were also recently recognized for what the Veterans Court does under your direction.
Yes, thank you so much for that recognition. I was so humbled this summer to receive a Veterans Outreach Partnership Award. And it was presented to me by Phyllis Wilkins, who is our VA liaison, and she, along with Mr. Ezelle, are integral members of the VA court and the DWI court. And she reached out to me and said, I would like to present you with something. Can you please come to our challenge meeting? And I was just so humbled to stand there and talk to those members of the VA who work daily to support our veterans, and to be a part of that, and to be recognized for our Veterans Court and what it means for veterans. It was very touching, especially because the Veterans Court is something that my dad helped formulate.
Right.
And to carry on his legacy in that manner is just really a blessing and an honor, and one that I don't take lightly. And the main thing that Ms. Wilkins pointed out in offering that award was that, Judge Switzer before me, and then myself, we take a different approach to how we view veterans and how we address veterans, and that takes an understanding of why they come to us in the first place. So it's a different perspective than what I might otherwise have with a typical defendant who's justice involved, and that's unique. That's a little unique. You have to change your perspective. You have to put on different glasses when you see these veterans and treat them accordingly. So it's very much a blessing and an honor. Thank you for mentioning that.
Well, and this unique perspective is obviously something that has been recognized on the statewide level as well as the nationwide level. And Garland County is so fortunate to have these services right here for veterans within our midst.
Absolutely.
Thank you both for the details. We hope that those of you who are watching this segment will spread the word about the Veterans Court here in Garland County District Court and the amazing work that it's doing. Next week, we'll bring you more city news.